Tampa Bay, Montreal, 57-58 on the rotation here. Tampa minus 165, road chalk. The total 6, shaded slightly to the under in this game, minus 115, pretty much across the board what we're looking at here. Not much to say here. I mean, Tampa Bay is just priced a little too high for me to get involved here, but at the same point in time, what can you say about Montreal? I know they finally won a game, beat the Rangers. Okay, but the Rangers they're in the Ottawa mode right now, where it's just like a free fall for them right now, for the Ottawa Senators, much like it is for the New York Rangers at this point in time. So I don't give Montreal a pat on the back. I don't give them, anything, a pat on the shoulder. Good job for that. They took advantage of a team that's probably even in worse shape than they are. Montreal now's got to play this Tampa team, which we know continues to roll, get the job done on a nightly basis, and they've been taking care of inferior competition. We saw Tampa beat Ottawa pretty handily the other night against the Senators. 4-2 is the final, but 4-3 rather, but 2 late goals from Ottawa made that game closer than it really was. Tampa controlled that game for the most part, so I don't have much on this game. It's 6, and Tampa Bay's been an over machine. I got to say this. Tampa Bay's been cashing one over the total winner after another as of late, but you're going to hold the phone here just a little bit. And I've been on a bunch of these, but, it's 6. It's a Montreal game at 6. Okay, it's a Tampa game at 6, but it's a Montreal game at 6, if you know what I mean. I mean, you still got to hope Montreal can help you out here a little bit offensively to get a game over this total here at 6. I'm not sure they can. We'll see. But this Montreal to me is not a team I'm in any rush to bet over at 6, regardless of who the opponent is. So I'm going to stay off the total in this game. I'm going to stay off the game entirely, but I was looking at the total, but I don't know if Montreal can help me out enough there with it. Dana Lane, this is one of his games, Lightning and Habs. Dana, what are you looking at here?
Well, with Niemi confirmed for Montreal, I mean, you have no other way to look but the over. You're getting even money on that. And, for a guy that's goals against average is almost at 4, save percentage is way under 90%. In fact, you really want your goaltenders to be in that 91.5, 92% range. That's kind of what I'd like to go on. And, certainly a guy that's, 3-6-1. So, Niemi's never had the reputation of being an under goaltender. And this is a Tampa Bay team that could get close to this total, I believe, on their own. And in fact, I don't quote a lot of trends on this, but the trends are overwhelming to the over tonight. And again, a lot of these don't, they go back a little bit, but, for instance, the over is 12-2 in the Lightning's last 14 games when they're playing on 1 day's rest. The over is 10-1 in the Lightning's last 11 games following a win. The over is 6-0-1 in the Lightning's last 7 road games. And if we remember, guys, that the last time that these teams met up, it was just a 3-goal game with Montreal getting the win, which also is good for our over because, Tampa Bay probably wants to erase that loss. But, there was 83 total shots in that game, and Vasilevsky ended up making 37 saves, and Price ended up making 44 saves. And the pace of that game certainly did not reflect a 3-goal games. Both of these teams, again, we looked at a power play when we're betting totals. That's number one. Actually, I looked at a power play when betting any game because I want to see where my advantage is. Both of these teams, surprisingly, are pretty efficient on the with the extra attacker. We know that Tampa Bay is extremely explosive, but Montreal is also connected on 21 of their chances, or 21% of their chances as well. Neither teams are big penalty teams, so we might not get a lot of opportunities. But I think it's fair to say that you could see at least 2 power play goals, and now we're at that point we're only asking both of these teams to combine for 4 goals, and then certainly at the end there's always the caveat that you have to remember of the empty netter, and I think that at even money at 5 dimes, with the over being 8-1-1 in Tampa's last 10 games, I don't see there's any reason to play anything other but the over in this at even money.
All right, over for a Dana Lane. Yeah, I mean it's over or pass for me. It's just a question of can I trust Montreal? Niemi, you're right. Niemi and Net, we know Carey Price out indefinitely for the Montreal Canadiens. That's no That doesn't move the needle for me much because really this is an issue with Montreal in front of Carey Price as much as it was anything Carey Price was doing. That hasn't changed. Montreal's still been a very shaky back line all season long. Nowhere near past editions of this Montreal Canadian defense. Just in terms of their defensive ability, it's gone down. They haven't had Shea Weber for ages, and he's been shut down now as well. So obviously, Montreal has not been good in front of their goaltender, as good in front of their goaltender this year, regardless of whether it's been Price or Niemi. And you would think with Niemi in there, that could make things even shakier for Montreal. We'll see. He's actually played very well at times in his brief stint here with Montreal Niemi, but can it continue? Can it sustain itself long term? I still have my doubts. We've talked about a goalie that, since back when he won the Cup with Chicago years and years ago, that's really the last time you got stellar goaltending out of Niemi. It's been hot and cold, up and down ever since. And that's the problem right now with endorsing Montreal or their games under with Niemi in that. It's what are you going to get night to night in between the pipes? You're never quite sure. So Dana's going over 6. He's breaking his rule. I usually doesn't often make cases to go over a 6. He is here in this game, and it's even money, right? This is not a price.
No, it's not a rule. I always have to clarify with people. It's not a rule. It's just a preference when I'm watching games. Of course, if I think games going over the total, of course I would look that way. I just enjoy watching games that I have unders on more than overs.
There you go. That's an interesting way to look at it because unders drive me nuts in the fact that I'm just every scoring chance or every goal post, I'm like, oh my God, geez, when it's that close and you're holding your chest. I find I'm more relaxed with the over because I'm looking for something to happen and it's just I can breathe a little bit. But everybody's got a different way of feeling. But yeah, for me the unders drive me nuts. It's almost hard to watch. It's like, oh my God, that was so close to going in. What am I going to do here? The unders in hockey can be very scary in that regard, yeah, because every chance you're just heart jumps out up in your throat a little bit, and you almost see that it's too hard, too tough to handle, too hard to watch. But over 6 here for Dana, Tampa Bay, and Montreal in this game tonight. Again, the Lightning, as I mentioned in the chat a moment ago, they honestly could hang 5 or 6 goals tonight. All by themselves, which means you may not have to ask Montreal to do a whole heck of a lot.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.